Hi Lokesh, can you see me? Is my voice audible?
Yes, Mr. Som, you people are watching us through different channels. So now we
Mhm.
can start the webinar. Thank you for coming on this platform.
Thank you, Lokesh ji. Welcome you all. Uh, I think this is Sunday, and you could have done a lot of other things, but you decided to invest your time in something that matters in terms of your personal and professional development. So let us go through this particular presentation. So let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, screen is visible. You are audible.
Okay, let us start. So as you might have seen the flyers while registering. I'm Som Kolekar, and the platform which is provided by Lokesh and his team under brand skills rediscovery. This particular session is about having awareness or creating awareness about skills which require in any field, for the success, significant success. Okay, so let us start. So let us begin with our introduction. So before that, before I introduce myself, I want to introduce skills rediscovery. I came across this as a platform for connecting trainers, skill coaches with learners or the students. And I found it very interesting. Lots of category, uh, are included in terms of coaching training, and I think they are the way they are approaching to trainers like us is amazing, and I believe it will definitely help learners across not only India but outside of India also to get skills and get connected to the people who can equip them with the right skills in the area of their interest. So that is about skills rediscovery. And just a minute. Okay. And about me, I'm Som Kolekar, and I have been in IT industry for 15 years, and recently my interest has been in training, coaching, and I'm dedicating more time now on this because this is something which is very close to my heart, and I think that's what and okay, as we move ahead, we'll talk more about my experience as such. So before you might have seen the title of the program, must have skills for success in any field. Now the question might come, if I would have been in your place, why should I believe? Why should you believe in me? Okay. So for that, a little bit background. So academically, I was very a bright student, you can say. I scored 100 out of 100 in 10th matriculation exam, and then in 12th 100 out of 100 in maths. Then did electronics and communication engineering B, and then MBA from Pune University. So academically, it is, I will say, it is very exciting, and for someone like me, I think it is like a dream fulfilled. Now that was my background, and then I've worked in a couple of startups and then MNCs for last 15 years in various roles, primarily in the IT sector. Now, recently, that is in June, I have released my book called Indian Ikigai. This is basically to help youth and students to find their passion or purpose, at very early stage. Instead of wasting time by following the herd. So the book is available across the different platforms. But the important thing is to implement from that book. But this is one of another role I'm playing as an author. Now, a couple of things which nobody talks about is your mistakes, or is your failures, which you basically you hide from the world. Okay, but because this session is about opening up and helping you with some of the things which I learned in this journey, I want to summarize in one word, or one sentence about my student life. It was just study, nothing else. I did not focus on skills which outside world, or which outside, world which is outside of school life or education or college life requires. And for first, I will say 7 to 8 years, I struggled a lot. I lagged in terms of progress, and even I got a US visa rejected because of the a lot of reasons. But later, once I realized, okay, what brought me, in MNCs via campus placement, will not take me further, and that's where I started developing a lot of skills, and I'm going to share some information about those skills later. But when I saw the effect of using or the results using the skills, I think that is where I decided someday I'm going to share these secrets with people, with youth, with students, even freshers, or the people who are already in the job, and make sure that they get benefited. And that's how I started my journey as a trainer, and definitely it's a fulfilling one. Okay, now coming back to our main topic. Okay, so when we talk about 21st century, there is one buzzword, or there is one word which is used in all areas, in all job descriptions or profiles, that is lifelong learning. Okay, so life. Okay, long is like a duration is life, and then it's a learning. Okay, so the focus has been on learning. Okay, even if you see artificial intelligence and machine learning, that machine is followed by learning. So there is learning everywhere. Okay, and so we are going to focus that, and then we'll come up. We will reach out to those list of skills which I was referring in the main title. So imagine you were a kid. Okay, and you have been given cycle. Okay, or rather I will say picture of a cycle, and ask you to memorize everything. Okay, this part is tire, this part is seat, and this part is like a brake, and there is a air. So you study everything theoretically. Okay, and once you are comfortable with the terminologies, then so your dad or your mom will give you a bicycle to ride. Okay, so what do you think? What will happen with this kind of approach? Okay, nobody will learn cycle. Nobody will learn. Okay, this is one type of learning. Okay, and at that age where you are a kid, you are just maybe 5 years old, 6 years old, maybe you are a teenager in school. So I think that is with this kind of complexity, I think people will not get any interest in learning bicycle. Okay, then suppose instead of having so many words and so many parts, I will simplify, and I will have few words, a few parts, and I ask you to buy without giving you bicycle yet for you to ride an experiment, then also it's a boring. Okay, and the third is something like this: no theory, no jargon. Okay, and it is just I'm giving you cycle, I'm supporting you for a while, but you will learn it by your own. You will not, you don't have to learn what is tire, you don't have to learn what is the spelling of brake, or what is the spelling of the helmet, and so on. So this is how, when we are kid, we learn by doing. Okay, we learn by falling, we learn by failing. And the learning which the learning technique which we get or develop in the childhood, we slowly, as we get conditioned in schools and with friends, I think we forget about that we learned by action. We didn't just learn by learning grammar or learning theoretical stuff. Okay, this is one example of learning. Now in this, we saw 3 types of learning basically: study all theory about bicycle, study all practical about bicycle. Okay, the last phase. And suppose you want to make a career, or you want to develop cycling as a hobby, then you need to learn what makes cycling efficient, or the a fun thing. Okay, for that, of course, you need to learn experience of other cyclists, and that is where it's a combination of theory and practical which comes. And if we just focus on theory, we definitely lag behind. It is of no use. That's my personal experience. Whereas if you just focus on practical, you will not come to know the best practices, or the research which is going on in the field, and you will also lose that advantage. But if you combine theory, if you combine practical aspects, I think that is very killing combination for anything. So this is one. We have a couple of more examples where we learn without having theory. Okay, the first is we started scrolling, crawling, we started we tried to stand, and then we started walking, and then we started running as a kid. Here nobody told us or coached us how to walk, or how to stand. Okay, we did a lot of we encountered a lot of failures, but at the end we definitely we were able to stand, and we were able to walk and then run. Similarly, if you see how we learn our mother tongue, we learn by actually observing how our parents, our mom, dad, we speak. We just listen, we receive, we interpret, and then we learn. Nobody told us in our childhood that spelling of like spelling of that particular word, like mom, before we uttered that word. So we learned first, and then when we went to school, we learned the theoretical aspects of it. So it's the practical is more important as compared to theory, and this exactly what the order gets reversed when you go to school and college. You focus more on theory, and then you lose the aspects of practical wisdom. Okay, so so recently I have been studying how human beings learn, and I wanted to do that by learning something which was very close to my heart. And one example is, of course, I observed how my daughter plays TT, and I realized that even just to have, let us say, non-stop those, I don't know what they call, but I don't have the bat now, but I would have shown you, without dropping that ball on the ground. She does that till 70 times to 80 times. She's just 7 years old, and I could not do more than 10. And that comes as a practice, just by knowing spelling of table, spelling of tennis, or all that will not make you a good table tennis player. You need to go to the ground reality. You need to go to the basically for practicing, and learn the techniques from the coach, and then as you progress, then that is where you will gain the skills. Okay, there is another example I'm going to show you. You might have seen, everybody might have seen, violin. Okay, this is the most difficult instrument, they say, requiring many years to learn, master, and I've been learning this for 6 months. The most difficult part of this is bowing. Okay, so how do you bow? So basically, this first string, you have second string, third. So what I learned during learning of this for playing musical instrument is it's very challenging. Okay, and unless you use all of your senses, all of your let us say your ears, your the way you are coordinating, it's very difficult to learn. This is a lot different than just remembering the spelling of violin, or writing about it, like it looks like this, it has 4 strings, and answering those kind of questions. So important thing is, as many as if you engage more senses, then it is going to be fun. Otherwise, if it is just, let us say, you are reading, you are and then remembering, after some time it will just get you will forget it. Okay, so coming to important point, the things which you just use your brain, maybe, because we are visual creatures, we use eyes lot. So that is more of like a intellectual. Okay, those are very easy, just like learning spelling of violin, or learning, let us say, 2 plus 2 4. These are all intellectual games. You don't involve much when you calculate 2 plus 2. You don't have to practice like playing violin and all that. So this is very easy, and that is what the focus is. If you see our school curriculum, most of the focus is on intellectual thing. That's why people who score maximum marks are are basically are in limelight, as compared to people who are good in arts and sports. Nowadays, of course, situation is changing, but still the craze people have about IITs and IIMs, that shows how intellectual stuff is glamorized basically. And but real success is not about that. Real success is like, for example, I know I want to say no to someone, like my friend is calling for movie and I have to conduct this training. Now I know that I have to say no, but if I don't have practice of saying no, okay, I will not be able to say that. So that is what saying cognitive assertiveness, basically we call that skill, that comes by practice. Okay, because that is not just at understanding level, but more of like using your cognitive abilities. Okay, so and nobody tells this when we are in school, that our success is not only dependent on intellectual level, but this is dependent on cognitive levels, cognitive skills also. And cognitive skills, they take a lot of time to develop, and there is a reason for that. Okay, so we'll come to that. So this is so what we do is when our brain or system encounters something new, let us say playing violin, there is a neuron pathway created, and when you do it a lot of times, that circuit gets stronger and stronger. Okay, but intellectual wise, if you do that, it does not get that stronger. So it is all cognitive ability. So if you want to get expertise, okay, so what happens is when you start learning something new, this is like the road which is not at the left side road, which is maybe the villagers, they have started going via that route, and that has become kind of a raw road. But later on, it's like a little sophisticated, and then it's a highway. So that is how the journey. If you want to become master, then it will start from a very raw road. Then if you have patience, if you have interest, if your purpose is clear why you are learning something, then it becomes a simple road in the middle. And then somebody like Sachin Tendulkar, he would have practiced n number of hours with techniques and with dedication and all that. That's when the neurons they form a pathway, and that's what this is secret of learning. People don't reach out to this. They either stop learning here the first raw road, or they don't go to expert level, that highway, and that is where they will not experience success which they are looking for. Because success only comes when you are good at something, not an average. Because you don't go to average doctor, right? You go to somebody who is specialist or who treats you very well, right? So now when we are talking about skills, must have skills, I think we should be focusing on things which remain constant. Okay, for example, if you see how music, or we can take example of storage device here, how storage devices have evolved, starting from floppy to CD and pen drive, and now it's cloud. Two things are common. One is storage, what data you are storing. Okay, that is common. There is a creator who is creating these devices, and there is a content which is being put there, and there is a consumer. Now if somebody learns using floppy disk, okay, and does not know how to use cloud, he is out of market. Okay, so the focus of learning skills should be on two things, like what is storage and how it is stored, okay, and how it is used. If you focus on that, these are just mediums. This keeps on changing. Just like in this, this is music, and now it's like iPad, and like Alexa also plays the music. Now the singer is same, the musicians are same, and the listeners are same, but the technology, the way we deliver the content is different. So if somebody would have restricted to tape recorders in the old age and denied using let us say iPad or cloud or YouTube or YouTube Music, then I think he's out of market. That is where he does not have skill to unlearn and learn. So learning is very important. And one example I always give in other trainings is, let us say you have friends, and your friend, maybe he might have got selected in some company, and his life changes. Okay, his lifestyle changes, he travels, all that. Now, if you just focus on that changing part, your friendship will end. Instead, if you just realize that friends, they change. Change is nature of human beings, and if you realize that, they will change, your friendship will remain same. Okay, so that is where we need to focus on things, or skills which will not change even after 1,000 years. They were there before 5,000 years when Mahabharata was there. Mahabharata happened, and they are right now in 21st century. They are there, and even after 2,000 years, if humanity exists, they will be there. So those I call them timeless skills. But people call it with different names like life skills and life-saving skills, non-negotiable skills. So based on buzzword, it's just the term changes. Now there is fear about robots, or then you have artificial intelligence taking job. Okay, only the nature of the job changes. Okay. The jobs will be there as long as you have second human being. There is a job because you are going to provide a service or create a product or something. So as long as there are people, so there are now 7 billion plus people, and you have entire world open to you, for job market. But again, that is how you look at it. If you have right skills, you will not find any you will not be deprived of any opportunity to work or have your own business as such. And this is where I'm revealing the secret now. So what are those skills? Though I in the detailed training I go through each and every skill, but for this session I'm seeing the watch, it's still have 5 minutes. So I'm just based on my experience, I think these are the skills which are required irrespective of any industry, irrespective of any any whether it's a job or whether it's a business or in your personal life as well. So on top of all this, okay, I have learning, unlearning as a base. These are like pillars. You need to learn, you need to unlearn. Suppose you have been driving let us say manual clutch, brake and accelerator kind of car. Now that has been suddenly stopped. People have stopped manufacturing that. Okay, and something which is based on just accelerator and brake has come. There is no clutch, automatic car you can say, and you need to learn that. Okay, if you just keep attached to that learning of or driving that old car, you will not be able to adjust the adjust your life accordingly. Then you need to have clarity. That is a base. You need to have purpose, you need to have focus, and these other things are basically needed, okay, to make sure that you learn and apply those skills. Okay, so it starts with self-awareness. You should be knowing what in which areas you are good, whether working alone or whether working in team, and whether you like traveling, or whether you like working at same single place. So, and self-management, like how do you manage when somebody criticizes you, somebody does politics with you, somebody threatens you. So the more calm you keep, more is valued in terms of at least in the corporate world. And a lot of things are there like this. You have mindset, and then developing survival skills and communication and all that. This is what I think. I've done research based on how I encountered the situations, And this they have also included this in something called 21st century skills. And uh, so when we go to little bit detail in that, I have again categorized, like in self-awareness, what is the image you have about yourself, what is your self-confidence level, okay, what is your self-respect, what is your idea about self-respect, esteem. That is about self-awareness. Then self-management is how do you manage your emotions, feelings, do you keep it for a long time or do you express it. Then mindset, of course, if something hits you big, as a failure, do you learn or move ahead, or you get stuck. So that is also important. And then lifelong learning, basically that is what need of this century for survival and even thriving. And for Indian students, mastery and fluency over English there is no compromise in this, because we think that our Hindi medium or Marathi or Kannada medium is the best, but because India has so many languages, English connects us. Though Hindi is very important, but if you think about a lot of material which is available, it is there in the English language, and it opens up. This is my timer. Okay, so it opens up door for global opportunity. And then you have creativity, innovation, invention. That is where you show up, some different ways of doing things, improving the process, or inventing something which nobody would have thought about. And time and priority management. This is my favorite, because a lot of people have stress in today's life because they don't manage their priority and time very well. They think if you are a doctor, the case which comes for, let us say, weight management, they consider this as the same as like which comes for ICU, and that is where the mess happens, because weight management case can be looked after later, whereas urgency should be given to ICU. Okay, so people, when they have a lot of things to do, or let us say 10 things, they get a lot of pressure, without realizing that some of those things can be done even after 1 year. Okay, that is where this is one of the reasons for stress. And then you have critical problem solving and decision making. This is the most important skill nowadays in IT and every field, because a lot of this work is automated by algorithms. But finally, you are the one human being who is going to take decision, who is going to solve the problem. You basically cannot automate 100% problem solving or decision making. And productivity, this is again very important. Somebody who does work in 2 hours as compared to somebody who is spending 8 hours, I think people definitely value that other person, the 2 hours guy, okay, because he saves a lot of their money, their resources. And this is team, working with team. This is very important, irrespective of where you are, whether your own business or career. Working in a team is absolutely the need of this century. You cannot win in silos. And then you have leadership, how you like, even if you are not manager, how you lead the team and make sure you take right decision. And then this is also important. Suppose you are a student, your craft is basically study, so of course focus should be on that, because if you don't score, let us say 70% and Microsoft, and you want to be coder and join Microsoft, okay, what happens is, if Microsoft has cut off of 70% and your score is 69%, they will not allow you unless you do some like finding some bug or defect in their security system. So I think my suggestion here is, in student age, definitely you need to master your craft, that is academics, have good record, but just don't limit your progress in that area. You need to expand in other skill set also. Whereas if you are a fresher or working professional, I think focus is more of like, if you're, let's say, database administrator, okay, so you should be knowing all the basics, and you should be knowing, if you're a graphic designer, know all the tools. So if anyone comes to you saying, I want only Canva, you should be able to do it. If somebody comes to you, I want Adobe Photoshop, you should be able to do. So that is what mastering your craft. This is world of specialty. You will not go to any person who is not good in his craft. And 13 is developing commitment, vision, mission, goals, mantra. This is very important because it is important to make sure that you are climbing the right wall. Okay, climbing speed is not important. What if you are you are supposed to go on on this way? Okay, so climbing speed is not important. That's where clarity of what you want to do in life is very important. And you need to be aware, have daily touch base with your goal and mission for your life. And 14th is, of course, as you grow, you will realize that few things. One is a lot of people say money is bad. Okay, but money is absolutely necessary. So there is a balance between materialism and the spirituality. You need to have Ferrari as a dream, but if you don't get Ferrari, I think we should not get disheartened. So important thing is not to hate money. Money is essential to live very good life. And this is about the skills and how to start developing these skills. Okay, so this is another few minutes we'll just cover. So basically, you need to be aware of it. Like if you are watching this as a recording, or you are part of this live this thing, so you become aware of this. Okay, you listen to many people, they bring in their industry experience. You volunteer to research anything or give a talk. An important thing is you remember this formula which is used in all corporate. And 10% is your formal education, 20% is your informal education, like giving, participating in TEDx and all. But 70% is on-job training. But your on-job training will be a lot easier if you know that problem-solving skill is needed, and you start developing, interest towards it. Okay, and then get feedback. Getting feedback is lot. It's very important, because otherwise you will not improve to your next level. And participate wherever possible. There are challenges in terms of developing these skills. I struggled a lot initial 7 years, and the reasons are very simple. You are not aware of it. Suppose you don't know there is an exam called NDA. Okay, then you will not prepare for it. So awareness is very important. You can do it by many ways. Initial barriers are there. Like for 6 months, I have been practicing this, bowing, when learning violin. I'm still not perfect. So a lot of people, 90% of the people leave at that stage, and so only 10% go to next level. So that is very important, that you cross initial barrier, and that can only happen if you are aware of your purpose. And again, long-term commitment is important. Just because you attended this session or my training for, let us say, 4 hours, it will not make you good in problem solving. It has to be long-term. You need to develop that long-term capacity to learn. And then don't be shy to ask for help, even if it is junior. Learn from him. And then of course have mindset of lifelong learning with practical aspect, as a like applying as a team. Okay, this is one of the quote which made me think very differently about life in general. So I'm reading it loud. You can't exercise for 4 years and then expect to be fit for rest of your life, right? You need to walk or do running, or exercise daily, okay, or at least few times a week. Then only you'll be healthy. But a lot of times, like I had this perception that once you do 4 years of education, you don't have to learn again. That's a myth. That's the strongest lie I ever heard, because you need to start unlearning. You need to start learning again. If you stop that, you will not survive in 21st century. The important point is basically this is rappelling in this is waterfalls, basically, where I did rappelling. Rappelling is you come from top, you just like buggy jumping, you fall back, and going down is very easy. But I was standing there for half an hour just to have that trust and leave everything. Okay, so initial initial barrier is very a lot of people cannot cross that. Okay, and second is everything looks very scary, okay, until you do it. So only way to do is actually get get it done. Okay? There is no other way. And this is me And okay, so basically, if you want to have future which you really desire, then you need to start taking action. If you can't take action today or now, you will not be able to take action anytime in future life. Okay, yeah, so I think yeah, this is basically, I'm also happiness and mindfulness coach. So I tell people that you need to enjoy your journey. Okay, happiness is in this moment. And if of course, there is a success, and there is a material, there is a money, and there is a fame, and there is a travel, all that. But don't wait for your happiness till you get promoted, get married, or get into Google or Microsoft. Enjoy every moment. Journey is very important. And I think yeah, so this is my contact, and you can refer to skill rediscovery website for programs by me and other fellow coaches. And these are links for my book, available on all sites. I want to keep in touch. This is my number. And thank you, and wish you all the best for your journey. So hopefully, Lokesh, I'm on time.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for coming on this platform. I hope our people would have gotten so many clicks through your journey, through your learning. And I wish all the best to all the people that they are like watching us, or maybe live, or after some time recording this session. Thank you so much, Mr. Somnath Parikar. And people who are watching this video can visit on skillsrediscovery.com and visit our courses and this course as well by Somnath Parikar. Thank you so much.
Yeah.